All routes lead to doom. Beta build. Slime Prince Glitched Edition by RimuruEdward6. Chapter 3. Katarina Clay's Paw. The moment Maria walked away from Rimuru with that thoughtful look on her face, I knew it was too late. The route had begun. I, Katarina Clays, was officially back on the path to doom. So naturally, I did what any rational, well-adjusted noble lady would do. I sprinted to my room, slammed the door, collapsed on the carpet, and summoned an emergency strategy meeting of my inner council of Katarina Clays. They appeared instantly, as always, the familiar lineup of my smaller, animated selves, each representing a vital part of my clearly very stable psyche. Serious Katarina adjusted her imaginary glasses and looked grim. The Rimuru route has been triggered. This is a code gold-eyed crisis. Romantic Katarina swooned onto a dramatic fainting couch that didn't exist. His voice is so dreamy, though. We could just fall in love with him. Farmer Katarina threw a potato at her. Focus. This is doomsday, not a bridal catalog. Child Katarina sniffled. But Maria's so nice. She didn't mean to. Of course she didn't. I shouted aloud to myself. She's perfect. That's the problem. Rimuru will fall for her if I don't stop it. The council fell into a heavy silence. Then serious Katarina spoke again. There's only one option. We all turned to her. She pushed her imaginary glasses up again for maximum intensity. We must become his love interest. All five of me gasped. Temporarily. Serious Katarina clarified. We get close to him first. We steal the route. That way, he won't fall for anyone else. Wait, I blinked. So, seduce him so no one else does. Romantic Katarina clapped. I love this plan, but, what if I fall in love with him for real? I cried. All five of me paused. Then Farmer Katarina muttered, well, better you than doom. Fair, but how does this help? Child Katarina asked. Isn't that dangerous too? That's where phase 2 comes in, serious Katarina said. Once he's interested in us, we convince him, subtly, that no one else is a threat. That we're just a harmless, cookie-baking dirt gremlin who loves her friends and definitely doesn't need magical princely protection. I gasped. That's genius. That's insane, Farmer Katarina added. But genius. I leapt to my feet, filled with determination, fear, and at least 30% cookie energy. All right, everyone. Operation, Become the Love Interest to Cancel the Love Interest, is officially underway. My mini Katarinas saluted me. Was this a flawless plan? No. Was it a plan at all? Debatable. But it was the best I had. If I could just keep Rimuru focused on me long enough to keep Maria, and everyone else, out of his sparkly golden danger zone, I could buy myself time. Time to shift the plot. Time to derail the route. Time to avoid doom. I just had to make sure I didn't fall for him in the process. Right. Oh no. Next day I was ready. Or at least, I thought I was. I'd spent the entire night rehearsing in front of the mirror. Practicing elegant expressions. Trying out sultry glances which mostly looked like I had something in my eye. I even watched a few of those romantic dramas where the noble ladies hold fans and talk in slow, dramatic sentences. I was going to be alluring. I was going to be graceful. I was going to be the love interest Rimuru couldn't ignore. That was the plan. But now, standing in front of him in the courtyard with the sunlight gleaming off his silver blue hair and those terrifyingly calm golden eyes, I realized something very important. I have no idea what I'm doing. I cleared my throat and offered what I hoped was a coy smile. Prince Rimuru, fancy meeting you here. He blinked slowly. You're the one who sent me a note requesting a meeting. Alright, yes, but I meant it, dramatically. Smooth, so smooth, like gravel. I pressed forward anyway, this was for the mission. The greater good. Operation Become the Love Interest to Cancel the Love Interest must go on. So, I said, fluttering my eyelashes like I was trying to blink away sand, I've been thinking, you're very mysterious, aren't you? He tilted his head, expression unreadable. Am I? Yes. You're brooding, and powerful, and dangerous. I leaned in. It's very attractive. For some people. Not me. Probably. But in theory. I tried to laugh charmingly. It came out like a wheeze. There was a long pause. Rimuru didn't smile this time. He looked at me with those golden eyes, the amusement gone, replaced by something else. Something heavier. Disappointment. You were breaking this dull game so beautifully, he said softly. But now you act like a save file stereotype. I froze. What? Sorry, he continued, his voice too calm to be kind. I prefer the person you were before. He stepped past me, his words echoing louder than any footsteps. You disappointed me, he said. I guess this will be a dull year after all. And then, just like that, he sighed and walked away. No smirk, no teasing, no trace of the curious glint I'd seen in him before. Just silence. And I stood there, frozen in place, as a single flower petal floated by like a tiny, dramatic punctuation mark to the absolute emotional curbstomp I'd just experienced. The mini Katarinas in my brain. All fallen in battle. Romantic Katarina, we've lost him. Farmer Katarina, you tilled the soil of doom yourself. Serious Katarina, he's right. You forced the root, and he saw through it. Child Katarina, does this mean no snacks? All of them in unison, emergency reboot. I sank to the bench nearby, holding my head in my hands. How had this happened? I'd survived magic school politics, jealous noble girls, love triangle chaos, and at least 4 near-exile events. But I'd never felt this kind of failure before. I wasn't afraid of Rimuru anymore. I wasn't even worried about doom flags. I was ashamed, because for the first time since arriving in this world, I'd stopped being myself. And I didn't even realize it until it was too late. Maria Campbell's paw. I found her sitting alone in the courtyard, slouched on a bench beneath the magnolia tree. Lady Katarina. There was usually a kind of energy around her, chaotic, bright, and a little unpredictable, like she might declare war on a pastry or start digging a trench for carrots at any moment. But now, she looked still, like someone had pressed pause on her. I quietly walked up and sat beside her. She didn't look up. She was holding a cookie in both hands, but not eating it. That alone told me something was very, very wrong. Lady Katarina, I said softly. Still no reaction. Then, finally, she let out a sigh. I failed the route. I blinked. The route. She waved one hand vaguely. You know. The strategy. The plan. I was trying to override a doom flag with a soft flag branch that diverts into a neutral subbending. I just stared. She groaned and dropped her head into her hands. Okay, I know you have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's fine, but just know this, I messed up. I forced the event. I tried to become the love interest to cancel the love interest and he saw right through me. I reached over and gently rested a hand on her back. She was trembling a little. Was this about Prince Rimuru? Her shoulders hunched. Yeah. What happened? She took a deep breath and let it out slowly. He said I used to be interesting because I broke the game. But now I'm just following a script. That I disappointed him. I didn't understand the details. But I understood the hurt. I gave her hand a small squeeze. Lady Katarina, you don't need to perform for anyone. She looked at me, eyes wide and uncertain. I'm not sure I understand all the things you say, I admitted, but I do know you're the kindest, most sincere person I've ever met. Even if you act a little strange sometimes, or say things no one understands, it's you. Her lower lip trembled. But what if me isn't enough? It's always been enough. I smiled, and tucked a lock of her hair behind her ear. You don't need to protect me from anything, you know. You're not alone in this. She stared at me for a long moment. Then she whispered, Maria, you're too good for this game. I blinked. Thanks. She laughed, a little cracked, a little wet, and leaned against me. We sat in silence for a while, the wind brushing against us, carrying the scent of flowers and fresh grass. Whatever this root was that she thought she broke. It didn't matter to me, because I wasn't here for a story. I was here for her. We were quiet for a while. Lady Katarina leaned against my shoulder, the remains of her uneaten cookie resting beside her on the bench. I didn't say anything, I knew she didn't need words just now. She just needed someone to be there. And I was glad I could be that person for her. So when I heard the soft footsteps approaching from behind the hedge, I instinctively tensed. Then he appeared. Prince Rimuru Tempest. Same calm presence. Same perfect posture. Same strange golden eyes. But his expression was different. Gentler. Not smug. Not amused. Just, quiet. Katerina didn't look up. He stopped a few steps away and spoke. Please don't cry, Katerina. Her head jerked up, startled, like she hadn't realized she was crying at all. You're way more than you think, Rimuru said, voice lower now, more careful. You're unpredictable, frustrating, and completely chaotic, but, you're real. And that's rare. She blinked at him, eyes wide and wet. You just, be yourself. That was what I was trying to say before, he added, looking off to the side like he didn't want to meet our eyes. But I guess my words hurt more than I meant them to. He shifted awkwardly, hands tucked behind his back. So, sorry for that. The silence that followed was heavier than any dramatic noble duel or expulsion trial. Katerina just stared at him, blinking fast. And then, softly, hesitantly, he looked at her again and said, Can I make it up to you? Her mouth opened. No words came out. I glanced at her, then at him, then back at her. She was blushing, absolutely red in the face. My chest squeezed. Not in pain, just something tight and warm and complicated. Because I realized something, he meant it. And Katerina didn't know how to handle that. Not from someone like him. Not now.